Let's go down to North Carolina, the beautiful hills of North Carolina. We got the beloved head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Ken Miller, with us. Grandpa Miller, as they call him. Kenny, how are you, sir?
Hey, Rod, I'm great. And congratulations on your 1 year on your program. That's super. And the viewership, holy cow, those numbers are out of this world.
Thank you. Well, as we know, there's a appetite for CFL football talk, and obviously we talk a lot of hockey because it's Canada, so I appreciate your support all along. I've just loved being able to keep in touch with you. Colleen's watching this morning. She writes in today from Southern California. What we're able to do with the technology is amazing. But I speak for all of the Rider Nation in saying, how are you doing out there in the mountains in terms of staying safe in this crazy time?
Boy, the social isolation is driving me crazy. Social distancing is really pretty easy, but just being in the house the whole darn time and not going out is a bit of a struggle. But we are doing it very, very well. We are feeling great, and life is good for us.
You're a social guy. You like being around people. That's been your life. So I could just imagine what it's been like. Have you been thinking about this, Kenny? I've been seeing this now in the NFL coverage and CFL. Imagine being a rookie coach and assuming that you are going to play in 2020, but you can't get your team together. You got to do Zoom calls and install an offense. Like, could you imagine what those guys are going through?
Well, I'll tell you what, that is, just hooking up with you, that gives me pause for thought, for the entire day before. And so just to do the logistics of that is something, and then being prepared to do so many different presentations would be a little bit tough. But just a little bit of insight. My son is a baseball coach in Southern California, collegiate baseball coach, and their season was canceled about a third of the way through, and so they had to do a lot of online stuff, and they have survived that, and I think they're planning to be online for the following fall semester. So it's doable. A lot of people are doing it and getting the job done, and we'll see at the end just how successfully it works out.
I paused this for a second. Your wonderful wife, Maureen's watching. She says, "Hi, Rod. I'm in a different part of the house, but listening for sure. Congratulations. No dragon boat racing this year. Sad. I miss my friends." I wondered about that, Maureen, but I know that she'll be back. We had a wonderful coffee the last time that she was in town for that. But, Kenny, on that topic, if you remember Khalil Carter, CFL player, coach, he's now in Iowa coaching high school. We discussed how football will look coming out of this. How much do you think of this will stay when we do get back to whatever normal is in terms of we can be together as groups? How much do you think of the coaching, instruction, installs in the offseason will go to this, what we're doing now? How much will stick, do you think?
Well, that's a really good question. I think a lot of it will, but, coaching is really a hands-on kind of a deal. Doing it by video is really difficult, I think. And you need to be there with hands-on to touch and correct and encourage. And doing it by video, I just don't think those things will hold on. So I think teams may be set back a little bit with just how sophisticated they are. But I think eventually they'll do very, very well.
Well, frankly, I certainly hope that you're right. But you also know with these teams and corporations, if they can cut a corner, save a dime, not having to fly guys in or something, they're going to do it. Wayne in Victoria, BC is watching. He says, Kenny's a fan of the whole CFL, not just the Riders. Greg watching in Lloydminster, Canada's only border city, says, thank you, Rod Pedersen, for keeping the CFL front and center during these tough times. So let's go there, Kenny. Your resume will include stints with the Argos, the Roughriders, and most recently the Alouettes. How much are you following what we're going through as a league right now? Obviously closely. So what are your thoughts?
It's just everything so much up in the air right now. The decision of whether they're going to be hub cities or if plays are going to start on September 1st. And really, I think the thing that everybody has to keep in mind is the safety of everyone involved. Players, support personnel, the fans, everybody. So I think that whatever decisions are made, those things have to be kept foremost in what we want, regardless of of what we want in our heart. We have to do the right things based on the health of everyone.
Well, and I got to ask you this. You coach collegiately, pro. You've coached in Europe. I'm going to put you in some elite company here because I asked Warren Moon this question last week. I'll ask you the same. How important is the CFL in the landscape of football, professional football, in terms of its development opportunities, second chances, as we all know? I mean, how important is this league to the game?
I think it's really important to the game. For Canada, it is absolutely linchpin. As far as society, it's a great thing for Canada, but just for football in general, you're talking about opening up for potential players from South America, maybe Central America, Europe, and certainly the opportunity for players to play here, develop, and get back to the NFL or vice versa. It's a tremendous thing, and I don't know exactly what the viewership of regular season games is in the United States, but I think it's becoming more popular as the seasons go.
It is. Actually, the viewership is very respectable on ESPN2 and all of its various channels. By the way, I pause again. Norm Fong writing in, the Hall of Fame equipment manager of the Roughriders. Coach, you're looking great. You were the best coach I ever worked with. Kenny, that is high praise. You know how many coaches he worked with? All of them.
Holy cow, Normie, that is sensational. I am so appreciative of those kind thoughts and words. That is just awesome. Thank you.
And on that vein, or back to the CFL for a second, I just think not many people to prepare themselves for there not being a CFL. We couldn't imagine life without it. Be that as it may, you did coach in Italy. Can you talk about the global perspective? Last you and I talked, you were in favor of it. I mean, are those guys over there ready? Could they play in this league?
No, that particular team that I worked with, most of those players would not be able to make a roster in Canada. It's a fledgling kind of a league, and players are developmental, and the game just isn't as sophisticated, particularly where I was. I don't know about other places over there, but I'm sure there are some great players over there that would be able to find a place on a Canadian roster.
Overall, CFL 2.0, as they call it, the globalization of the league. But you're in favor of it, right?
I am in favor, yes.
All right,
anything that we can do to grow the sport, I'm in favor of that. And creating exposure for players and greater viewership, participation of fans, all of that is really good for our entire society.
Absolutely. Kenny, this has been wonderful catching up as always. So happy you're doing well, and the whole family, it sounds like. I appreciate this. Any last message before we let you go?
Well, I just appreciate the time that I had with you guys there in Regina and all of the province of Saskatchewan. And I'll tell you what, being away from the game for so long, I really miss being around the players, being around the other coaches, being involved in decisions, and really miss even this kind of situation where I get to talk with people for whom football means a great deal. So I really do appreciate the game, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here on your show today.
Then we'll do it more. It's an easy fix. All right, Kenny, thank you. Have a great day, and say hey to the whole family for me.
Okay, thank you, Rod. Same to you.
Ken Miller checking in from the Carolinas today. And I will make good on my promise to visit him. By the way, the guy that moved Kenny from Regina to whatever town he's in North Carolina told me that he lives in such a remote location that his GPS couldn't pick up the address.
Really?
Like he literally got to the bottom of the mountain, he punched in Ken's address, and it was like, are you kidding me? GPS said to him.
Area 51. Don't bother, Ken.
Exactly. Oh, it's always great chatting with Kenny. Makes the heart feel good. We'll take a timeout. It is the 1-year anniversary special of the show. Boy, it's going to be a tough vote for the rock star of the day for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. I have a sneaking suspicion Kenny will win it, but hang on. We got Darian Durant coming up here a little later on in hour 2. Sports Day coming up. We'll check the poll results. Lots to go on this Wednesday, June 3rd. Canada's Morning Sports Talk Show continues after this on Facebook Live, Game Plus TV Network, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Willie Jefferson, Winnipeg Blue Bomber. I want to say congratulations to everybody there at the Rod Pedersen Show. Congratulations to you as well, Rod. 1 year anniversary. This is a big accomplishment. More years to come. Wishing you the best. Thank y'all for having me on.